Well, the ice may be gone behind me here at HEB Center at Cedar Park, but the season is far from over for the Texas Stars. 3 games in the next 4 days against the Iowa Wild, a familiar foe from Des Moines, Iowa, at Wells Fargo Arena. It will wrap up a 12-game season series for the Texas Stars and Iowa this year. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another series preview. Brian Tosti, happy to be joining you and breaking this one down. Well, Texas' last 2 weeks and the finish to the entire homestand this season. Texas did pretty well. They picked up points in 5 of 6 games, including 4 wins. And Texas really got back to the basics of what has made them successful early on this year. That's going to be something that Texas looks to bring into this final series, looking to come away with wins in 3 consecutive series overall.
Well, we got to just play to the identity we tried to earlier. And I think we've regained some of our focus. And there's nothing fancy about what we're trying to do, but we want to play the game with some speed. Our compete and effort has to be there every game to give ourselves a chance, and really simplification. Plays will open up over the course of 60, but you have to come out with the right mindset, and you have to play the game the right way, especially through the first 2 zones, to give yourself a chance for things to open up.
Well, you can look to a lot of different places for the success for the Texas Stars, but how about you start between the pipes? Adam Scheel was spectacular, playing in 5 of the 6 games, and Colton Point coming in relief and also picking up a win in the final game of the series against the Tucson Roadrunners. He looked spectacular as well. In addition, Texas got a lot of offensive support up front. Secondary scoring was a big key for the Texas Stars, not only this entire season, but in the last week of play.
When you have scoring up and down the lineup, it makes it harder to pre-scout, takes a little bit of pressure off your top players as well. And I think when you realize there's depth and other guys stepping up, it becomes contagious. And, very similar to what we were just discussing with, ebbs and flows. I think there's points where, it seems like that dried up a little, and now it's regained some legs here as of late, and I think it's important that we fight to continue that way.
Another big pair for the Texas Stars out of the homestand was the combination of Ben Gleason and Thomas Harley. They have stepped up their play in a big way down the stretch since the return to HEB Center at Cedar Park.
They're both very strong skaters. They both have the ability to make plays, not only by moving the puck, but with their feet. They see the ice very well on the offensive blue line. And I think they've done a nice job understanding that if they want to spend minutes in the offensive zone, they're going to have to defend with more purpose and harder. And I think they've done a good job embracing that.
Already 9 of the 12 matchups between the Stars and the Wild in the books this year. That will leave the final 3 games to try and decide this, with Texas picking up 4 wins in the opening 9 games. And a lot of the players that have usually been trouble for the Stars may give them trouble this week. Gabriel Dumont, Jerry Mayhew, Mason Shaws of the world seem to have given Texas a little bit of trouble this year, but also guys like Matt Boldy, who are new to the lineup, could give Texas some pause. But like most of the season for the Stars, they are focused on the internal, getting their game going right from the drop of the puck and continuing their pace of play all the way through the 3 games this week.
I think we want to just get out to a good start. Coming in here on the road, we had a day off after the weekend, travel day. It's important to make sure we find our legs, and I think exactly what you and I just spoke about. You're going to find your legs if you understand the plan. You keep it simple in the first 2 zones. You're going to find your legs and speed, and next thing you know, you're playing the game with pace. So, we just have to make sure our mind's in the right spot coming in after our flight, and if we can come in with the right attention to those kind of details, we'll be fine.
For the final time this year, you can tune in on AHLTV.com. You can also catch our remote broadcast on TexasStars.com/listen. You can always follow along to our social media channels for up-to-date news on the Texas Stars, and go to TexasStars.com. This has been a full series preview for the Stars and Wild as they play 3 games in the next 4 nights to wrap up the season.